Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mapolo from Mapolo's Corner. Renee, your mindset. Guys, if you hear what happened today, the report when EU election reporters, when they give their final verdict, they say this is the final report. The EU election observers, they don't indict Tinubu and APC and INEC. They don't put them for very tight corner, very strong corner. No. If you, after listening to this report, you will know, say, P2B get upper hand for this case, as I see him. Because for EU, that is European Union, election observers, now then give final report now today. You think that has no meaning in the law court? You think that is no meaning? And I like the time when they give that report. When it be say at the time when the proper hearing, the proper court case won't start. Neither bring their case. Now they don't indict INEC, they don't indict Tinubu, they don't indict APC. This is a good one for Labour Party and P2B. For those who never see them, they give their report. They give their report. Say no, that election they cannot work. Watch video.
Though it's been more than 3 months after Nigeria's general elections, the challenges faced during the elections are yet to be resolved. The election petition courts are still sitting to address several issues raised by aggrieved parties who are challenging the outcome of the polls, while Nigerians are anxiously waiting at the federal and state levels for the outcome. The European Union says the general election was flawed with so many irregularities recorded, such as voter apathy, lack of punishment for electoral offenders, interferences by outsiders during the counting of votes, and the intimidation of voters.
So while the 25th February elections were held on schedule, a lack of transparency and operational failures reduced trust in the process and challenged the right to vote. Voters assigned to new polling units had difficulties in identifying their correct polling unit, and the conditions in almost half of polling units observed did not ensure the secrecy of the vote. In 16 states, the mission noted incidents of violent attacks on polling units and indeed on INEC staff and harassment of voters. The counting procedures were negatively impacted by overall poor understanding, particularly in completing forms, and chaotic and overcrowded conditions in collation centres observed.
Some of the recommendations by the European Observation Mission includes the protection of voters in future elections, establishing a robust operational framework for elections, and addressing impunity through an electoral offences court. The Independent National Electoral Commission promises to consider all the recommendations as provided by the EU mission.
As far as we are concerned, we are going to present our reports. We are going to make our submissions to the court. We are going to present what we know and what we did during the elections to the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal and all the other election petition tribunals, and then they will make a determination on, going forward. But as far as the Commission is concerned, there were so many positives to this election. There were also significant challenges and problems with the election. We are going to address those challenges and those problems.
The EU delegation also visited the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, and submitted a copy of its report to the Nigerian government. The SGF is calling for more support from the EU to promote Nigeria's democracy.
When I see the report, they say nothing good happened there. Even the INEC man, when they call Festus Okoye, when they define, you go see the panic for him body. Say there is problem. Yes, there is problem both for INEC, for Tinubu and APC. There is serious problem. What we do not be fair. We need to be truthful. This country, if we not begin to bend truth like this, the high truth, we are not going anywhere in Africa. It's too much. This is a blatant, in fact, this is a broad daylight robbery. Whether I like it or not. Ndiala, you know, see you. There's irregularity, there's a much irregularity, but there was good thing coming out from it. Yes. So no, not gonna go bribe European Union now. Not gonna go bribe that. They must give you an objective report, whether you like them or not. They say the election was marred by irregularities, violence, threats, killing and beating people, by voter suppression, all through. Now I do that. When I say no talk. Now, when this report don't come out finish, now the presidency, on our presidency, come out say they reject this report. This final report of European Union observer say now they no acceptance, it's a lie. Say the election was genuinely conducted, free and fair. In APC for nine that talk am. APC and our presidency come they say no, we are not accepting this report. I can't say I mean now. For those who never see them, they talk all right now. Watch video.
The federal government has rejected the European Union's final report on the 2023 general elections, denouncing it as a poorly done desk job. In a statement, the president's special advisor, Dele Alake, accuses the EU of bias and unfounded claims. He stresses that the elections, especially the presidential election won by Bola Tinubu of the All Progressives Congress, were credible, peaceful and well organized. The EU mission presented its report on the general election on Tuesday, citing what it called enduring systemic weaknesses in the polls. It also identified 6 key areas for improvement in Nigeria's electoral processes. The federal government's reaction is in response to the report submitted last week by the European Union Election Observation Mission on Nigeria's 2023 elections. The report raised concerns over the violence recorded across the country, low participation of women and people with disabilities. All right, Rufai, the report is out last week actually, but what's making headlines, of course, today is the fact that the presidency has responded through the spokesperson to the president, Mr. Dele Alake. So there's the report. What's your take on the story?
I saw the response of the presidential spokesperson and I laughed. Humor. Pure humor. You rebuff a report, but you don't have empirical analysis to point out the holes in the report. And you didn't rebuff it. You said it was a badly done job. No, the EU report was a well-done job.
Thank you.
To the EU. Empirically analyzing what happened in the elections and putting a report out there. A lot of Nigerians want to forget the trauma of the last elections. An election that promised so much but delivered so little. Is it the same elections that people were divided in Lagos? That town criers were coming out to tell people not to come vote?
Oh.
Is that same elections where people were beaten?
Shame.
Black were hurt?
Shame.
And there was rancor everywhere? That our journalists, Okpe, where are you? Okpe was beaten and punched in the face for going to cover an election? Is this same election that somebody is trying to defend? This same election that we saw what happened in Obiakpo, who became a butt of jokes by the international community. This same election that on the 1st of March, Financial Times wrote Nigeria's flawed elections.
Oh dear.
Same elections that people didn't want to come. And these same elections that INEC has not been able to tell us what kind of technical glitch happened. If a glitch happens, there's going to be a technical analysis report of the nature of glitch. The first thing INEC should have done is to bring out that report.
Yes.
But till today, I have not seen anything of such.
For where?
These same elections, and they were hurts, killings, beatings. This same election that was that lady's only offense that was gouged in the eyes. Jennifer, if my memory serves me right. Because she went out to vote, but she said nothing was going to stop me, I was going to vote.
Yeah. Jennifer.
These same elections where INEC reneged on its promises. And the defense now is that, oh, they didn't say we're going to... Did you see Mr. Festus Okoye?
Misbehaving.
When our colleague asked him, what kind of technical glitch, he couldn't answer. He said the case is in court. We'll see when the defense opens. It opens today, isn't it? 3rd of July.
3rd of July.
We'll see when the defense opens. But you see, what we are saying is for us to move a country forward, we need the truth.
Yes.
We have had an elections like this in 2007. But the man that benefited, Umar Musa Aradwa, came out to say, I know the elections that brought me were fraught with irregularities. And he gave us the wage report, which is a template for how elections should be today. We shouldn't deny the fact that the elections were filled with a lot of anomaly. 220 million population projected. Only 25 million people voted. So isn't the voter apathy shocking to Nigerians? Look at the chaos, look at the rancor, look at the pain that Nigerians face, look at the bewilderment that Nigerians faced after the elections. And what did the politicians do? They divided us further. EU, thank you for your very good reports.
Thank you.
Those that have ears, let them hear.
Make I hear.
Yes, some say it's a poorly done, bad job. I think they too should release their own report. Let's see.
The good
As
one.
long as they can't pick out the lies in the EU report, let's tell ourselves the truth in this country.
Yes.
Ayo, if we want this country to grow, we must speak the truth to power every time. And that's what people don't like doing because they benefit from sycophancy.
That's right.
Because these same people that were hurt, all of a sudden, they are going to look for positions the next minute.
You don't finish.
Atenujaism is killing a lot of people. Atenujaism.
Yeah.
They can't tell the truth.
Hunger.
Because of what they want to benefit and going to eat. But I know Nigerian democracy will live tall. We'll come out of this, we'll keep looking at the future. There'll be possibilities that abound. But kudos on the EU for that report. Those that should take feedback should take feedbacks.
It's all right.
And if we don't want to take feedbacks,
It's up to you.
the people are making up their minds and their decisions.
Yes.
And that's why you see that voter apathy is on the increase. People are not even coming out to vote again. Last election cycle, more people came out to vote than now.
I don't see him. I don't want to talk too much. Hands so far, I don't analyze. I'm not the too worry myself. Because the guy, you better say, get the same mind like me. You get brain. I don't got time to analyze anything. I want to invite one of the lawyers. Make it remind us. Make it remind us how this election was conducted. You see this election? There's one notable lawyer one day for Nigeria. I want to invite her. Make it refresh our mind. How was this election conducted? Mike Ezekome, oh yeah, now report yourself on Mapolo's Corner. Watch the video.
The gravity of the infractions and mishaps that took place during the 25th February 2023 presidential elections, how many people were not allowed to vote, how people were restricted, the violence that took place, the general infractions that made the election not to be generally credible at all.
Jesus.
From any prison, you look at it, they made it clear. If one of them believes squarely that Tinubu did not win the election,
You mean
and he makes no words about that, he believes he did not win. Some of them said he didn't score the required 25% of the votes cast in FCT. And when they asked him, is it your opinion? He says, no, it's not my opinion. It is the law. They should have got 25% of FCT to be declared president. So generally, the thrust of our case today was that the INEC was hasty and wrong in declaring Tinubu the winner of the elections, because every evidence shows that he did not win.
On another watch video, Mike Ezekome, son, don't refresh our brain. You see this election, you see this court case. Some people want to say you don't die, you don't finish. Now the court case start now today. All of us go break. You know, she say I know to they disturb my. I go break to make I go refresh because I need to gather momentum. I need to gather strength when I go take the give and to one after the other. Ta, ratata, ta, ratata. As it hot, had the report and give on. I go already small too. Make I go rest. I go flex myself. Go gather energy. If you check my blood, I don't add weight when I be done they lose. I go back to gym again. Harder. Make I lose them. Make I lose them more. I don't want to talk too much. Maybe we wait for them. Guys, if you love what I'm doing, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and on TikTok. Hello, my police. Peace out.